Okay, so let's go through and see how you did on these practice problems. It said match the number to its corresponding letter type of real number. So all we're trying to do is decide, is it rational or is it irrational? Okay? Now the square root of 36, I just want to show you on your calculator to get the square root button. Okay, remember we're using a new calculator. It's right here in yellow. So you would hit second x squared, and then you could type in 36 and hit enter. And we see that the square root of 36 is 6. So 6 is a whole number, so that means it belongs in the rational group. So you should have put H. Okay, the square root of 14. If it's a perfect square, it will be rational. If it's not a perfect square, it will be irrational. So I typed in second x squared, 14, enter. Ooh, that's an ugly looking, that's not a perfect square. So that means this is irrational. Okay. 5/4, it's written as a fraction. If it's written as a fraction, then it is rational. Pi, remember pi, whether it's positive or negative, is automatically irrational. So that's an O. Okay. Looking at the next one, it says use your calculator to convert to decimal form. 6.3%. Now your calculator isn't going to necessarily help you with this, but one thing I want you to think about is percents are always out of 100. So what you could do is you could take 6.3 and put it over 100. And so we're just going to take our calculator now. We're going to do 6.3 divided by 100. And that gives me 0.063. That's a nice stopping, terminating decimal. And so there we go, 0.063. We need to be able to do that if we're going to order our numbers. Okay, -5 3/4. This one's a little bit trickier too. You can't put it in your calculator like this. Okay, so the best option is, we know -5 is out front. So that's going to be in front of the decimal. And so all we need to do now is take 3/4 and calculate it in our calculator. You may know what a 3/4 is in a decimal. And you just do 3 divided by 4, which is 0.75. So that would go here at behind the decimal. So -5 3/4 is -5.75. Okay, the square root of 177. Again, we're going to hit the second button, and then x squared, and then type in 177 and hit enter. Now notice this keeps going on and on and on and on, right? So we don't have to write all of the digits. We would just need enough digits so that we could compare and order them. Okay, 1/2%. So remember, I just told you that percents were always out of 100. Now you can put 1/2, but I think I'm going to put 0.5. I think we all know a half is 0.5. So now I'm going to type in 0.5 divided by 100, and I see that my decimal is 0.005. Okay. Okay, our question, true or false? All numbers are not real numbers. Okay, that's false. There are some numbers that are real numbers. So if we correct this, some numbers are not. You'll learn later in high school that there's something called imaginary numbers. Okay, the next one. A number cannot, I'm going to pause this. Okay, let's see. A number cannot be both rational and irrational. That is true. It's, you can't be, rational is like you're happy. Irrational is like you're angry. Can you be happy and angry at the same time? You can't. So you can't be both of those at the same time. So that's a true statement. If a number is not rational, then it must be a real number. That's a false statement. That's kind of a weird thing. Because we have other kinds of numbers. So that's a weak question. Okay, place a decimal in each number to make its value between 1 and 10. So let's just go ahead. I want you to, so this is just practicing where we're putting it in scientific notation. Okay, this is what this is talking about. So if I had negative 17, here's my decimal to begin with. Where would I put it when I put it in scientific notation? Right there, negative 1.7. Okay, it didn't tell you to finish it, but if I went ahead and finished it, if in scientific notation, it would be times 10 to the first power. Okay, on number 13, here's my decimal to begin with. Where does it need to go? It needs to go all the way right here. So we would have to write all of these other digits, unfortunately, but making sure that the 5 is the only number in front of the decimal. Okay, same thing with number 14. Here's my decimal to begin with. Where does it go? It goes right up here. Notice there's only one digit. And remember, you have to write all the digits until you get to the zeros, and then you wouldn't write the zeros.